Hey guys, so today's tutorial is going to be on how to make these velvet shorts with the elastic waistband and a drawstring. If you don't already have shorts to use as a pattern, you can use a pair of jeans and kind of make adjustments to that. I have a tutorial on that and I'll link you guys to that video down below. So before we get started, there's a few things you're going to need. You're going to need a loop turner, some safety pin, and of course some elastic. And don't forget the velvet fabric. So what I'm going to do first is take the crotch area of these shorts and pin it into place, because as you can tell, the front and back are a different length. So I have to make two patterns, one for the front and one for the back. So right now I'm just pinning everything into place, and then I'm going to just take my pencil and trace all the way around. Once you have traced everything around, you're just going to take your ruler, and all I'm doing now is marking my seam allowance. So I usually do about a 1/2 inch seam allowance for mostly all of my patterns, and then you're just going to cut it out. So now I'm just putting front and reminding myself to cut 2 for this pattern. And now I'm repeating the process. I'm folding my shorts and making sure that I am pinning the crotch area for the back. Then you're just going to trace and add your seam allowance. And I also like to number my patterns just to kind of keep them organized. So next we're going to do the waistband. So for the waistband, whatever size elastic that you are using, you want to make sure that you have seam allowance for that, and also room to weave in the elastic for your waistband. I did do a very small waistband, but you do want to double it. So what I'm going to do with my fabric, as you're going to see later on in the video, is I fold my fabric double and then use that pattern to cut out the waistband. So right here I am folding my waistband and I am cutting it out. So it should look like this. So regardless of the fact if you do it the way I did in my waistband or you double the size of your pattern, it'll still be about the same size. So now I'm putting everything into place, placing right sides together. And once you have everything pinned, you want to make sure that you sew along the sides. And you want to do the same for the waistband. And as you can see, I did sew the crotch area of my shorts, and now I'm just flipping everything inside out. So the next step would be to pin the crotch area of your shorts. So I like to make sure that the seams are matching together. So I'm just going to match them up. And then I'm just going to take my pin and pin them into place. And once you do that, you want to pin everything into place all the way around. Once you're done, it should look like this, and you just want to sew all the way around. Now you're done, it should look like this. Now I do want to suggest that whatever color your garment is, you do want to use thread that is close to the color of your garment. I plan to sleep in these shorts, so I don't plan to really wear them out. So I wasn't really picky on the thread. So now our next step is to attach the waistband. So I'm just matching everything up. I like to pin my waistband as I attach it so that it doesn't move around when I'm trying to attach it to the shorts. And as mentioned before, you always want to make sure that the seams are matching together. So I'm just taking my pin and pinning it into place, and then you just want to sew around, but you do want to make sure you leave at least about an inch opening so that you can insert your waistband and also your drawstring. So once you're done, it should look like this. I also want to suggest, as you can see with the shorts, that some of the thread is showing because I had to adjust the stitch width while I was sewing. So as I did that, you can see that you can no longer see the black thread. Now what we're going to do is take our elastic and pull it all the way through, making sure that your safety pin is attached to the elastic, which is going to help you guide it all the way around. And then you want to make sure you stitch your elastic together, and then it should look like this. So we don't want to sew it all the way down yet. Our next step would be to place our drawstring in the waistband as well. So I'm just taking some scrap fabric. This scrap piece is probably about a little longer than 36 inches. And then I'm just going to fold it in half and cut off any excess fabric after I sew it down. So once you pinned it, it should look like this. And once you sew it all the way down, you can cut the excess fabric. So now I'm just going to take my loop turner. If you don't know how to use a loop turner, I actually have a tutorial on that. And the loop turner is really just going to help you take your tubes and flip it inside out. So now I'm taking it all. You can take a tailor chalk or even a pencil to make your markings for your drawstring. And this is going to be the opening for the drawstring so that you can tie it up. And once you have made your marking, you just want to take your scissors and cut a very, very tiny hole. Very tiny hole, not too big, but just big enough to get your drawstrings through. So once you're done, it should look like this. Just the way that you put in your elastic is the way you're going to put in your drawstrings, and you just want to go through those hole openings. And then once you do that, you want to seal up the opening that you made for your elastic and drawstrings. And then the last step would be to hem the bottom portion of your shorts. So what I did was I fold in once and then I stitch with a 1/2 inch seam allowance, and I also use a stretch needle. And I did a straight stitch. So when you're done, it pretty much should look like this. That is pretty much it for this tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comment area. And also make sure to share, like, and subscribe. And of course, I'll be seeing you guys next week for a new video.